welcome to another Sunday Night Roundtable edition of the OHIO podcast. I'm your host, Buckeye Boggs, aka the Podfather, and you are you, and we're thankful you decided to join us this evening. Do us a big favor, go ahead and smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, ring the bell, get notified every time we go live. If you need to get a hold of the program for whatever reason, feel free to email us at theohiopodcast@gmail.com. Check out the website also, theohiopodcast.com. And of course, let us know what you think about what we think down in the comments section below. Hey, y'all know what? We got us a podcast. We've had it since 2019. You can take us wherever you go. If you don't like the way my face looks, I don't blame you. Neither does my ex-wife. But you can listen to these lovely docile tones of myself and our other members who are joining me this evening wherever you download your podcast. Also, that bad boy right there. 56 pages of OHIO goodness, scarlet and gray greatness. All of that is going to be available in a hard copy magazine that you can pre-order right now. Email me at theohiopodcast@gmail.com if you would like to order one of these magazines. It's a limited edition. We also we launched the digital version of that as well, to free to all Patreon members. So if you would like your free copy, digital copy, you can get it right now just by signing up on Patreon. The link is in the description below. So make sure you all are Patreon members and join the NRO, where you too can get insider information, join the great community, get extra content, get the amazing Ohio State recruiting database that Mika, myself, and Vader work diligently on to provide all the information you possibly could need if you're into Ohio State recruiting. And like I said, get the free digital magazine. It's absolutely awesome. But enough about what we do that's great. Let's bring in the rest of the panel this evening. Joining me below, that is one birthday boy, Buckeye Bart. How are you this evening?
I'm doing well. But not just because I'm on this podcast, but I'm going to have to give you your kudos, Eric. That is one heck of a magazine.
Did you like it?
I loved it. Honestly, there is not another magazine out there that covers the state of Ohio, the Ohio State, the whole year. Excellent job. I mean, it was really, really good. And I'm so surprised because it came from you. So that's what I'm so surprised. I couldn't give you so much praise without.
Ouch.
No,
I did have some amazing help. Shout out Vader. He did a great job writing articles. And Vader's mother was actually my proofreader. She proofread the entire thing for free. She didn't charge me a dime to do it, and she's professional at it. And so. She thought it was very well written as well, which I thought was a really, really nice feather in our cap as well. Yeah. Diagonally from me down there in the bottom right-hand corner, that is the most lovely, cheerful, joyful man you will ever meet on planet Earth. The smile gives it away right now. It's the Wild Man. What's up, buddy?
Smile. I'm just worn out, man. I am worn out. I'm going back to school next week so I can get some rest. That's how bad it's been, man.
You were so excited about this week off, dude, and you just got crushed with
well, you know, we finally locked the doors for the last time tonight. Now my office is inundated with, as you can see, pro sports merchandise that will all be available online soon. So look out for that.
Hey, Chris, you don't sell all Pro Bowl Shedeur Sanders stuff, do you?
I can get it.
What a farce that is, isn't it?
The NFL Pro Bowl is a joke.
It has been for years.
Yeah. Oh, it's so bad.
Look at this comment.
Oh my God!
Sean,
look at that.
After the last week, I needed that one, brother. I appreciate that so much because I have just been beaten up this week. And by the way, Bart, I got to correct you on something, man.
Yeah.
As great as the postseason magazine is, I really feel like it's missing something.
I know what you're going to say. I was going to say, because you didn't participate and you were so busy this year.
I was, but you know what? Next year's going to be better.
You know what, Eric, next time you can actually ask him to write an article how satisfied he was with the season after we didn't win a national championship.
You know, if you remember right, that love fest that I had for Ryan Day on why Ryan Day should go before last season. Was it before last season? I think, or maybe it was before at the end of the last season when we did.
It was
something.
right after the Michigan game.
Yeah, if you go back onto the archives of the OHIOpodcast.com webpage, I'm pretty sure that there's a loving article on there, and that would just give you an idea.
Yeah, and then also to my left, everybody, that's King Buckeye. Last time we had him on a Sunday night, Chris about ended up in the hospital. So we have, and then he put his crown on the next day, like, you're welcome.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I didn't bother pre-dialing 911, but I can for you, Chris, if I need to.
He's got it.
Well, we'll be okay as long as you don't say anything stupid. We'll be all right.
Well, I mean,
we just started, guys. Come on.
he just got through saying he'll participate in the magazine after next season. Well, is he going to write an article about how much he hates Marcus Freeman for winning Notre Dame a national championship after next year?
Marcus Freeby will only be in the national championship race because of that soft ass schedule they've got. God!
I'm done
It's so
talking about
soft.
soft schedules. You know what? You just take the schedule you're given. You win your games. Do what you got to do. I hope Ohio State starts scheduling butter soft for the rest of eternity.
I don't. Because we saw what happened this year when you did.
We're not going to get into that tonight because it's not been confirmed yet. It's being talked about like it's already happened. And do I anticipate that happening? I do, but it's not been confirmed yet. And I have a very different opinion on it than what most people do. Buck Vader says Chris is a treasure. Don't kill him, Alex. 2 people think you're a treasure, Chris.
Well, they're both right, and it's going to take a lot more than Alex to take me down. All right.
Yeah, we'll see if I can rile him up tonight.
Yeah, well, I mean,
here's what's bad is I think
the topics get to there.
I don't think the topics are going to go there.
Yeah, probably not.
I think we're going to be in agreement on a lot tonight.
Probably.
I don't know. We'll find out. Let's dive right into it, shall we? Let's get started. All right. So Ohio State announced. Well, I'll say it too. I'll bring it to you like this. It appears Ryan Day is actually going to, for the first time since he's been a head coach at Ohio State, take special teams seriously. He went out, got one of the best kickers to hit the portal, and then he went over to Illinois and he basically stole right out from Burt, one of his better coaches, in getting Robbie Disher to come to Ohio State to become the special teams coordinator. By the way, Notre Dame just went to Illinois too and just took their DC, I believe, as well. So Bert's feeling the burn over there in Champaign right now.
We know how much Bert loves it when Ohio State interferes with his recruiting.
Oh yeah, him and Urban Meyer famously got into it. But so let's just start there. We'll start with you, Alex. We'll go around clockwise again tonight. Has Ryan Day decided, you know what, I'm going to take this serious. I'm going to make special teams a weapon. I've been saying it for years. There's no reason why Ohio State shouldn't be an absolute threat when it comes to special teams. In all facets of special teams, return game, punt return game, kick game, punt game, kicking game. Like, we should absolutely, Ohio State should be one of the best in college football at those things. And it sounds like Ryan Day's at least going to throw some money at it.
It sure seems that way. And I sure hope so, because it's cost him how many games now? And why it takes until 2026 to get to this point for Ryan Day, I don't know. But you saw it in the national championship game. You saw it in a lot of other games this season, how important this side of football is. It's not just offense and defense, and having Tressel and Urban around you as much as they've been around the last year or so for Ryan Day. You would think it would have registered quicker. But I mean, hey, better late than never, I guess, right? I mean, has he been one of the best special teams coaches in the country? You could probably say that in a lot of respects. I mean, there's been some things with Illinois like last year where against us, the punter takes a knee as he catches the ball, kind of screws them. I saw clips of the Wisconsin game where they had some special teams issues against Indiana. They had some special teams issues. But there's been a lot more positive than negative under his regime. They ranked 30th in the nation in SP plus for special teams in 2025, 16th in 2024. So that's pretty good. They were, they led the nation in 2023 in block kicks and punts with 7. Oh, so that's pretty good as well.
Do you have my notes?
My too. What are you doing, Alex? We can't talk about anything. Just go to Eric now. We're done.
I'm the stat guy usually, but those are just a couple things. I'll if they have more, I'll let them add to it. But either way, it's a step in the right direction. It's a step that's been needed to be taken for at least a few years now, and there's zero reason Ohio State, with the NIL that we have and what we might not even know that we have because we don't use it half the time, it seems. But there's no reason that we shouldn't have the best kicker in the country, the best punter in the country, and return games in the kick and the punt return game that absolutely dices people. We saw all Ryan Day needed to see was 2004 Ohio State, where you got Teddy Ginn and you got Mike Nugent, who won the Groza that year. Show him that season, and that's how important special teams is, especially at Ohio State, how much that can make a difference. So, I mean, better late than never. Thank God. Hopefully this hire works out. I was saying before the show that it's my second favorite hire behind Schleg's. I think Ryan Day is addressing a lot of good things. I just hope the Arthur Smith one pans out like the other. I think the other two will.
Chris?
Well, now that Alex stole all my glory, that's okay. I'm really excited about this. The moment I heard this break, I don't know if you noticed or not, Eric, but I texted you and Vader to make sure that this was legit going to happen.
Yeah.
Because it was I was very excited for this. Ryan Day is finally taking advantage of a huge part of this game that he has ignored. I thought it was going to get better when he brought Ebner in. I really did. But we didn't see the improvement we wanted. This guy has a proven track record. Georgia, Tulane, Louisiana, Illinois. And he has been coaching special teams at a very high level. He's getting national recognition for how good he is. And I really feel like if you take Ohio State and you look at under Ryan Day, Ohio State has been pretty poor in special teams. Last year was one of the better finishes at 67th nationally. That's pathetic. That is pathetic for Ohio State. Alex said it, and he's 100% right. There's no reason Ohio State should not have the best kicker in the nation. There's no reason Ohio State should not have the best punter in the nation. No reason they should not have the best long snapper in the nation. No reason we shouldn't be among the league leaders in blocked kicks, blocked punts. And that's what this guy brings to the table. So I am extremely excited about this hire. And I heard you guys talking about it beforehand. And Alex, I have to agree with you and give you credit. Because the only hire that he's made this year that has me more excited is bringing Schleg's back to the Buckeyes.
No, we've asked ourselves under Ryan Day, why can't we get the greatest punter and kicker? Well, the reason is, why would a great kicker or punter want to come here when there's no coach for him? Why would you want to come there and try to get better to go to NFL when there's nobody to coach you for it? You're just going there and practicing kicks, during practice, but nobody to criticize you, nobody to help you with your form. I'm sure they have somebody, but to neglect that whole special teams. But what other coach can take? You're not going to go out there and get, a Jeremiah Smith as a punter or kicker, because they're mostly all similar, and some great kickers just don't have it between their ears when crunch time comes. Fielding, I think he's a good kicker. He just didn't have it between the ears. But what other coach can influence a game so much as a special teams coordinator when you have your backup players on your special teams? You have your gunners that are, backup cornerbacks, receivers. They're trying to make a mark in the game. And we have the best backups in the whole country because our starting lineup is so great. So we have four-star players as our special teams players, and there's no sense in not having the great special teams that we should. If he could take Illinois and make that a viable special teams, blocking 7 kicks and punts in 2023, how much can he do at Ohio State if they just put some time into it? But Tressel didn't have the greatest offense back in 2002. He had a great defense and great special teams. If you can have just a normal of all 3 of those, you're going to be pretty good. If you could do 2 or 3 that's elite, you have a chance to win the national championship. And we've had 2 elite and 0 on special teams. It's just a tremendous hire, and it's about freaking time. I don't know if the higher ups told him, hey, you're not going to call plays, and you're going to hire a special teams coordinator. But he came around. It's never too late to do that, but I love the hire.
Jim Tressel used to say you have to win 2 or 3 facets of the game. You have to win offense or defense, and you have to win special teams. He was a stickler for making sure we won special teams. He famously said the most important play in college football is the punt. I mean, that is how it was just put in his brain. And I think Ryan Day, as an offensive guy, probably looked at that and thought, do we really need to, put that kind of emphasis on it? Maybe it's not my cup of tea. I'll just give it to one of these guys and let them, hey, you're doing special teams, it's yours. And then, look at Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer was the special teams coach when he was the head coach, right? And that was and he famously said, if you're going to play on this field for me, you're going to have to play special teams. You got to prove yourself in special teams. And I've looked at the roster we have. We have so many dudes who are elite athletes, who are freshmen, who should be on special teams, making a name for themselves. Friday night over on Patreon, shout out to the NRO over on Patreon, we watched the 1987 Cotton Bowl between Ohio State and Texas A&M. And, of course, Texas A&M right now famously has what they call the 12th man. That's what they call the fans. But back in 1987, the 12th man was actually the special teams unit for A&M. And every one of those gunners, there was, the 10 guys in the kicker, they were all walk-ons. And they were awesome that game. Awesome. Now we blew them out, but that wasn't it wasn't their fault that their quarterback threw 5 interceptions in the second half, 2 of them to Spielman. But my gosh, if you can get 11 or 10 walk-ons with the kicker to play like that, what are you going to do with 4-star athletes who can run like the wind, who are track stars, who hey, you want to make a name for yourself? Go make the tackle. Go make the play. Go block the punt. I mean, I think it makes total sense that we start using it as a weapon, in my opinion. Any last thoughts on this hire or special teams, Alex?
You mean to tell me the 12th man isn't one of those guys that do that little dance that they do before each football game?
Mm-hmm.
You mean the cheer? What do they call it? Cheer something.
Whatever those guys that wear those.
It's a cult, brother. I'm telling you, it's a cult.
That's the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen.
Oh, it's bad. It's bad.
Their fans are embarrassed by it too, and I'm like, just end it then. But anyway, you brought up the fact that Tressel, how he took it seriously, or how he took it seriously, and how Ryan Day might have been like, do we need to take it seriously? And that's something that's just really gotten me about Day. It's like, you're a football coach. You should know how important that facet of the game is. And I think it took him losing another game, unfortunately, losing another couple games when it comes to bad special teams, and seeing what an impact it made for Indiana in that natty to be like, okay, all right, enough's enough. And what Bart said, they got to put the time in on it. So I would love to know how much time they put in it in practice in previous years, and if there's an added emphasis to it, more time spent this year. That's what I would love to know.
Chris, any last comment?
He's got the pieces in place. For the love of God, he's got to use them. That's the thing. if you don't take, like you said, Eric, if you don't take those 4-star freshmen and use them, you're going to be doing this coach and this unit a disservice. And if there's one thing I've been concerned about with Ryan Day through the years, it's been his usage of players at times. So he has to not only, this has to be a commitment by Ryan Day. It really does. He has to be willing to go all in on special teams, because if he doesn't, I don't care who you hire as coach. I don't care what kicker you get. It's just not going to work out. So he has to go all in and be fully committed to making this the best special teams unit in the country.
Yeah, what other you're a player trying to get playing time. What other way to do it is to get on special team, make a big tackle, force a fumble, block a kick. These guys will go hard out to do that. And you might be able to keep some people from going to the portal if you utilize them and they make a name for themselves and get on the field some more. Anything to keep some great players around here until it's their turn. But how great would it be that we're on the 35-yard line, 37-yard line? It's like, okay, well, we could kick it.
And have confidence.
And have confidence. Now I think we're putting a lot of pressure on our kicker right now. It's like the first one he misses, we're all going to go freaking back crazy. It's like, fire the coach. But I don't think so. I just think if he could have bad mechanics, they're going to be able to fix him. But it's a great hire, and it's something that needs to happen. And maybe in 10 years, after he loses 2 or 3 games a year, he's going to be a complete coach because he keeps on fixing things that's wrong with him. So it might take him a while, but he'll get there.
Well, that's funny you say that, Bart, because that's one of the things that we've talked about for years is that Ryan Day's not afraid to self-assess.
Sometimes, unless he wants to play call plays.
Well, but let's be honest. At that point, what he had 2 options.
Yeah.
I either let Brian Hartline continue to do it, or I take that from him at this point because the Big Ten championship game was an absolute disaster. Those were his 2 choices. You can criticize that all you want, but I mean, you listen to a lot of people on social media, they were wanting him to take it from Brian Hartline after he did what he did. So I can't blame Ryan Day for that. But I think Ryan Day has done a very good job of addressing shortcomings and trying his best to come up with solutions for those shortcomings that have worked out for the most part. You look at his position coach hiring over the past, I guess, 7 years now, and you compare that to Urban Meyer, I'm not so sure Ryan Day hasn't done a better job than Urban Meyer did. Remember the linebacker coach that Urban hired? Like his best man in his wedding or something like that?
Yeah, his wedding, Bill Davis.
It was terrible. It's a terrible hire. And he wouldn't let him go, right? Or the year after we won the national championship, he just throws Ed Warner in there, offensive coordinator or whatever. Like, oh my gosh, that was a disaster.
It's
he
almost
promoted Ed Warner. Go ahead.
No, it's like almost like hiring your best friend as a podcaster too, Eric, right?
He promoted Ed Warner.
Why
knowing
would you?
It was a bad hire.
Why would you say that about Corey when he's not on here? Come on. Go ahead, Alex. Give me the Ed Warner.
I said he knew promoting Ed Warner was a bad idea too, and he still went through with it. After all those practices before the season, how bad it was going, he just let it ride, and it was like, oh boy, just.
Bill Davis. Thank you, Shaw. I couldn't remember the guy's name. No. That was a stinker of a hire, man. So I'm not so sure that Ryan Day hasn't, done a really good job. And I feel like he continues to assess and look at this thing through the eyes of achieving those goals. And so I'm all for this hire. We'll see how it goes. He's obviously not going to be out there recruiting like one of the 10. So go for it, right? Let's see how it happens, how it goes down. I still have not heard either if Arthur Smith is going to be out on the recruiting trail or not either
I
yet.
don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I think that's a bad idea myself.
I agree, Bart. I think
Yeah.
he needs to be out there on the recruiting trail. If anything, Billy doesn't need to be out there. He's one position. It's quarterback. That's Ryan's.
Yep.
Go
And
go get your quarterback, Ryan.
Special teams doesn't either. They've got 2 positions. They can always come in. He doesn't have to be on the road. Arthur needs to be out there.
Here's another thing too that we forget about. Ryan
Yep.
Day was on staff in 2018 when we were facing the team up north, and Chris Olave had a breakout game blocking a punt. Like,
Yeah.
he's
No one even knew
seen-
who he was.
Yeah, he's seen how important special teams can be, especially for guys who don't see the field much.
And we saw how great Kenyatta Jackson is at blocking punts too this year, didn't we?
No, it was Caden.
Yeah, that was
Curry
Cade.
blocked it one time.
No, wasn't Kenyatta that took one to the stomach?
No, that was Caden.
That was
Was
Caden.
it Caden?
It was a
They-
booby
they had
block.
the booby
Remember?
block.
It was a booby
He,
block,
he
yeah.
blocked it, hit his chest. We called it a booby block.
Oh yeah. When me and my wife walked through the halls, I call that when I hit her in the face with my booby. So it's all the booby block. So, yeah,
I'm feeling
Got some
uncomfortable.
small hallways.
it's a small hallway. I mean, come on. I mean,
I'm
there's
feeling-
got to be a stop sign, like one at a time, or you get in the booby block. So
I'm feeling uncomfortable. I need a safe space right now. This is very uncomfortable.
Oh my gosh! Come on, lighten up, Chris.
yeah, Jay's Chris.
God, Chris.
Ed, great question. Let's talk about it. We got a time before we get into our next subject. They came up with the idea to run the slowest offense in the country. That still leaves me befuddled. I don't think it was necessarily all Ryan Day's idea to come up with the slowest offense in the country. I think based off of what we learned, Brian Hartline was a first-time play caller. He was getting the plays in slower already, naturally. And then I also think, yeah, there was maybe some, hey, let's shorten these games. Let's run less plays so that when we get to the end of the season, we'll be healthier, etc. But if you all remember, Ryan Day says, we'll know when we need to hit the gas. We'll know. And then it never really truly happened. So I'm not so sure that it wasn't just Ryan Day's idea. I think there was some slowing down for Brian Hartline as a first-time play caller to go along with that. But what do you guys think?
I
We know
think he
the
almost.
mistake now.
I think he almost would is, in a sense, protecting his first-time quarterback as well.
He said, nah. Okay.
I think you're right. I'll go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
No, I think there was a lot of things wrong with last year's offense, and none of them involved the players for the most part, other than the fact that our receivers failed to block quite a bit for the first time in years.
Yeah.
Which is something I am hearing that is going to be a priority for our new offensive coordinator. But that being said, yeah, I think it was a first-time play caller, a young first-time starting quarterback, and I think Day probably was trying to slow the games down a little. I think it was a combination of all that. And like you said, Eric, we heard how much we were going to, we were going to see him step on the gas. I don't know what Ryan Day wasn't surprised when they couldn't step on the gas.
Well, the problem was he waited till the beginning of
Yes.
November to say that. And it's like, that should have been done mid-October if you were going to start ramping things up. Like, I get the whole philosophy of Texas game, make it real simple for Julian. Don't overwhelm him, grow him into that. But by mid-season, that gas should have been turned right up. And
Well,
everything could have been fine after that.
Yeah, but then we also suffered 2 injuries to 2 of our most important offensive weapons, too.
Didn't help.
Next
It
man
didn't
up,
help.
Eric.
Shut up, Chris.
That's what we get told.
Shut up, Corey.
That's what we get told.
Yeah, but
Did you guys know Shut Up Corey started basically happening on other shows?
yeah,
People with the
I think we need the official "Shut Up, Corey" T-shirt, Bart.
well,
that'd be easy to make. But Now, I think Chris is completely right. First time coordinator, first time quarterback. There should be no excuse this year. You got Arthur Smith and a seasoned Julian Sayin. And if you're going to say the excuse is we ran up tempo, now we got two hurt receivers, then don't play them. You know, you either got to play them or you don't. Injuries are part of the game. But if you're going to cover Smith on a fast pace, you can't do it. And when we called about stacked plays before, you can run so many stacked plays with a hurry up offense. And if the quarterback and receiver are on the same page, those two would be unstoppable. So if we're still saying this after next year, then it's just a Ryan Day problem. He's never going to do it. But if he's going to do it, this is the year to do it.
Vader says, I was told Smith isn't recruiting on the road.
Yeah, not surprising.
That's what we heard, but
they don't want to. Patricia might, but I don't. You know, he's like.
Oh, go ahead, Alex.
I said Patricia does, but he's like he likes to be in the lab type of guy. He likes to go get those guys, talk to. You could tell he has the relationship aspect. Maybe Arthur just isn't that type of guy. You know, until they get to campus.
Do we think maybe this is an indication that the coaching changes aren't done?
It could be. It could be. I'm still shocked Hartline didn't take a ton of our guys. Honestly, at least a couple.
Or is this an indication that he's a 1-year coach? Patricia wanted to be on that. He wanted to develop his own defense. Being here, does that mean that Arthur just could be here for 1 year and get back to the NFL? It was a 1-year thing.
I hope not. Unless he sucks, then I hope so.
Yeah.
But
I said if he sucks, I'll say it again. If he sucks, he may not be the only guy chased out of Columbus.
Is he going to be willing to adapt to Ryan Day's offensive philosophy? Like, what's the balance going to be? That's what because it can't just be Arthur where it's like, oh, we like using the tight ends, we like running the ball, and then you completely forget about Jeremiah Smith. This is Jeremiah Smith's last year, guys. This schedule is rough. The special teams have to be perfect. The defense, we know it's going to be great because Matt Patricia's awesome. The offense has to be way elevated. It has to be high powered. We have to be able to go tempo when we need to. The schedule calls for all of that to be here immediately. If we lose that Texas game, we are in trouble the rest of the way. We are in trouble of missing the playoffs. And imagine we missed the playoffs in Jeremiah Smith's last year. Boy, that not good for Ryan Day if that happens.
Let's move on to our second topic this evening. News came out that Bo Jackson and Isaiah West will both sit out spring while they recover from shoulder surgery. Are you concerned about this at all, Alex?
Gosh, I didn't even know that they had anything wrong with their shoulders. I mean, I guess we didn't see West much towards like the end of the season. We saw Jackson a lot more. And when you're rotating 4 running backs all year, seemingly, gosh, when did they get hurt? You know, how bad is it? But for Jackson, it doesn't really concern me. The only reason it would concern me is because obviously he reminds me a lot of J.K. Dobbins, where the first year of J.K. Dobbins, he would break free and then he'd get caught before the end zone. He didn't have that extra gear yet. Bo is kind of the opposite. You know, he well, in a sense, he's kind of the same, but regardless, he needs to find his extra gear, and this is like a pivotal time for him. So that kind of concerns me. Spring ball is like a good time to start working out those things, but it more concerns me for West just because he didn't get as many opportunities. But at the end of the day, can't have a shoulder injury linger. So, you know, we'll see how it happens.
Yeah, I'm mildly concerned, just because really this is the second straight spring where we're not getting a full workout from these guys, and it's going to slow their development. You know it's going to. They're not. These are guys who are supposed to be able to be, at least Bo, a 3-down back. And you know you need those reps. And I know he had a great season last year, but you know, these are repairs. They're minor injuries. Better to get them taken care of now than wait. I do agree with that philosophy. And it does give some depth and opportunity to guys like Jacoby Jackson, who's coming in to actually get some snaps and learn this offense. It's going to give Turbo Rogers and Favor Key and Legend Bay all an opportunity to get more snaps earlier on. Um, and we've heard it. We've heard how high Ryan Day is on Legend Bay already. And I'm going to tell you, he's going to find a way to get him in the game, especially if he shows out during spring ball. So, I mean, yes, there's reason to be slightly concerned, but not overly concerned. It's not panic time. It's just, let's take this for what it is. Some minor repairs. These are two guys who are going to be back for the start of summer ball. And it gives these younger guys opportunity to better learn the offense and take some snaps in a game situation.
Yeah, I'm not concerned at all. I think Chris is right. They're minor ones. Let's take care of them now. We didn't see it in the games, obviously, so they couldn't be then that bad. But let's be honest, though, they could still go through practice. I mean, how many full practice do you get where you got your starting running back going through a hole and just getting smashed by a linebacker? I mean, a lot of these times you don't get tackled. The biggest thing is knowing if Arthur Smith's got a different offensive philosophy for blocking, that's very important for them to know where the holes are at. They can still do, all their reps and everything, just don't get hit. The quarterback does it all the time, so why can't a running back? Because I don't think they go full go a lot anyway. But Chris is right also. It's like these backups need practice too. And just look at last year. I mean, did we have Bo Jackson being our number one running back this year? Heck no. Who says it can't happen? No, you didn't.
He did.
He was high on him. He was very high on him.
No, he was high. I'm not sure he was on him or not. But, yeah. But yeah, I think it's just cleaning things up and let's get it done before they linger and become a real problem next year. So not concerned at all. You know what? Okay, Eric, who's the most famous guy? The only image I can think of a shoulder injury for a running back. Every time he came off the field.
Oh, Maurice Clarett.
Maurice Clarett all the time with that arm dangling down. Yeah. That's all he had every time he got hit.
It lingered the entire year for him. Yeah.
And I just don't want that image in. But if it does, we've got people.
Did he wear that sling too? That was like, it was like went around his neck and under his chest and down to his arm. And so, like, it was this big sling that they had him wearing. Yeah.
If the whole thing with Maurice Clarett doesn't happen going into 2003, do we repeat as national champs?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
I think so too.
Yes.
What a wasted opportunity for both parties that was with that whole.
And I think he would tell you that. Yeah, because he goes around talking to these kids now. I mean, he's very involved with the team. Don McClure, great question. How much playing time will Turbo get this coming season? Well, Chris and I can tell you, we can firsthand account tell you, the coaching staff values Turbo.
They were pushing him hard.
You do not coach a player as hard as Coach Locke was coaching Turbo the day we were there if you do not see value and potential in a player. If a coach looks at you and says he's never going to play, he's not going to waste time pushing you. You go through the rep and you're through the rep and it's on to the next guy who I'm actually going to coach because he wants to take that coaching and I see a future with him. The way Coach Locke saddled Turbo that day and coached him tells me he believes that young man is going to have a future at Ohio State. He's going to pull everything out of him to get him there. And I think Sean said that Turbo has that extra gear that Bowen West doesn't have. Yes and no. You got to get to the second level first.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Turbo's not a big dude. Okay?
And keep a hold of the ball when you're doing it.
Yeah.
Well, that got him in trouble the one time.
This is a huge year for Turbo too. I mean, you think. I mean, you got two people in front of you, and if Day is so high on Legend Bay, that's another person in front of you. Yeah. And they're going to be back next year. Plus, are we going to get DGG the number one running back in the whole freaking country next year. It's
Mika
leaning
loves
like
him.
it's like if we get him, where does that fit Turbo? No matter how good Turbo is, I don't think he's here next year with us.
You better
I
make
was
a
to say,
splash.
I was to say, are they going to be here next year? Because I'm sure all these position coaches now are on pins and needles, wondering is this guy I'm coaching hard right now even going to be here next year?
I don't see a room for Turbo on this team. Although
Put them both on kick return and punt return.
Don't say
Him
that
and
yet.
DJ.
Don't. I'm serious. There's no way Locke was coaching that kid the way he did just for kicks and giggles.
Unless something happens, give me a path that he's going to play.
You outplay West. You outplay Bo Jackson.
Well, that's the only path. Yes, I completely agree.
You okay? So there is a path.
I think the bigger issue is Isaiah West. Honestly,
I agree.
Especially if he comes back slow off this injury.
But if Isaiah West can be that short yardage third down back,
we just talked about it too.
He showed
a special teams coach.
Yeah, he showed that he absolutely can push a pile.
I agree. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm not saying Turbo's a bad running back whatsoever, but when you have a fellow freshman that's in the same class as you lead a team in rushing, and then you recruit the number one recruit for next year, and your teammates junior. I mean, that
was one of the reasons, Bart, they redshirted him, because if you look at what we brought in 2026, we lost the number one recruit. What was his name? Not Sane. Sane?
Brandon? No,
Brandon Sane.
Brandon Sane.
It went to Michigan. What was the guy's name? Anyways, we lost him, and they immediately redshirted Turbo because all we had was Favor Key from here in Delaware at the time. Now we get Legend. What, Chris?
Oh, the Penn State fan is an idiot. He's in here talking about how good it's going to be now that Kenyatta Jackson Jr. is gone.
But he's still with the team, bro.
He's still with the team.
Hitter. That's it. Thank you, Sean. Hitter.
Savion.
We don't even play you next year, Penn State Sports Talk. So that alone should be the best thing to happen to you.
Anyways, that's Chris laughing. Cracks me up. Where was I? So
Hitler.
Legend comes in the class late. But Legend is not your prototypical every down back. He's a scat back.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to line him up at wide receiver.
He's Curtis Samuel.
Yes, he's Curtis Samuel. Hopefully, cross our fingers, special teams. So I absolutely believe, and this is a massive spring, and I'm glad we're having this conversation. Turbo Rogers needs to make hay this spring, man. He really needs to go out there and lead every first team rep, be the man, show what he can do, start to gain the coach's trust here, and come, game one against Ball State, if he gets his opportunity, baby, let's see it, baby. Let's see what you can do. You give every ounce of what you've got, kind of similar to what Bo Jackson did. Remember, after Bo Jackson got that opportunity, what were you all saying? That kid needs more carries.
Yeah.
We need to see more Bo Jackson, because when he carried the ball, he made something happen. Where James Peoples was insignificant, basically, in the running game those first two games. And then he didn't really run hard until he lost his job. And then all of a sudden we saw a different James Peoples. So what motivates the young man? That's all I'm saying.
I think Bo's going to take another step this year, just because I think he's going to see some holes that he didn't get to last year. We saw a big decline from Junkins and Henderson because they were such great running backs. And I hope he takes that next step. But could you see Turbo as a gunner next year? He could make a name for himself on the punt team, going down there first with his speed and stuff like that. So
should have done it this year.
Well, not to mention, we talked about Schlegs earlier. That's the biggest group I'm most excited for is those running backs, because Schlegs being there, those dudes have a chance to get a lot bigger.
They're gonna muscle up
and more physical. So once they hit that gap and hit that first guy, they bully him over. Then they can get to that second level easier. and we start seeing that improvement.
Yeah, it's been when was the last time we had a running back that just refused to go down?
Beanie?
Trey Sermon.
Well, he didn't. He only had like the few games where
Yeah.
He didn't really come on to the end.
Yeah, he wasn't given an opportunity.
Yeah.
Judkins?
Judkins was good.
Judkins was good, but I don't know.
Maybe
I
Beanie
think
Wells,
maybe
maybe last time.
Beanie comes to mind for me.
Or
Or
Carlos Hyde. Yeah, Carlos Hyde.
Carlos Hyde.
He was a good one.
But
Outside of
Bo
that.
Jackson can do. I think he can become that.
Zeke. Yeah, Zeke's a good
bring
one.
Beanie in.
Zeke
keep you
just
that
ran
stiff
by
arm.
everybody though
Yeah.
too, man.
Hey,
Like Zeke will run you over. The thing I loved about Zeke is he always finished forward.
Yeah.
He would always get 2 or 3 more yards.
Man, could he block?
Oh, gosh, he was so physical.
hey, Alex, real quick. Do you think you mentioned Slagle a couple of times? Do you think our weight program is really behind where he's going to make a huge I mean, you're saying, we've got him now, so our running back's going to be great. Have we had such a bad one so far that he's going to come in and just make a huge difference or not?
I wouldn't call it bad. I would call it outdated in a lot of ways. And I think Schlegel, he's more acclimated to how other programs who have like the best strength and conditioning programs in the country, how they do things that are more like modern to how college football is now. And I think he paired with Mick, they can fuse that and make this thing the best in the country, because there is zero reason our offensive and defensive line should be bullied as much as they are. There's no reason these running backs shouldn't be able to truck people over more often than they do. All those things. And I think Schlegel, and he brings that intensity. Like AJ Hawk was talking about it. He said those players will be very, very sore, but they'll be very appreciative of Schlegel being there. And I think that's spot on.
Do you know, Smith and Schlegel both, I think, bring something, because you can talk about the strength aspect. I don't think it's an issue of the strength of our athletes. I don't think it's necessarily a conditioning issue. I think it's been a toughness issue.
Well, that's between
And
years then.
A lot of that is mental. But that's what Anthony Schlegel brings. He brings, Alex said it, he brings intensity, he brings toughness. I think that's what Arthur Smith has been brought in to bring. He's been brought here to bring toughness.
When was the last time we saw from the Ohio State Media Group a picture or video of like the tire drill where they're just ripping the tire, trying to rip the tire off each other? You know what I mean?
It's been
But-
since the Urban era.
Yeah.
It really has. It's been that long.
Maybe we need somebody like you, Eric, to bring that back.
I mean, I have the
Man,
tire
they
with
ran
me at
some
all
weird
times.
drills when we were there, Eric. That was the other thing. When we went to that practice, there
Oh,
were a couple of drills that were really weird.
they were doing an offensive line drill I had never seen before,
Yeah.
where they literally are just working on side like shoves, just like almost like why wouldn't you move your feet and get in front? Like, I guess we're just gonna pass them off. Is it a passing
It's
off?
almost like a
drill?
chip, like a chip.
Yeah.
block you were practicing.
And I'm like, they spent a ton of time on that, and I was just like,
Hey, you guys
Okay.
been to practice. Do they still have that like cage for
Yes.
offensive linemen where you have to come out and you go out slow and you can't if you raise your head or your back, it hits the top of it? Do they still have that? You know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's where the tight ends were at.
the
when
tight
they
end,
got-
the tight ends were
Yeah.
using
okay.
that.
I didn't know
that
if they
day.
still used it or not.
Mhm.
So
we saw
And
Jelani get ripped when he was in
We
there.
saw Jelani Thurman, who literally she struggled with that day. Like it was,
Jelani's
He
a big
was-
shit too.
well,
Right.
he literally getting caught in it because he was standing up too fast every time. And
Well, that's when Keenan Bailey looked over at Kazmarek and said,
Kazmarek.
"Listen, this is your room. Go fix that."
Did you see what Kazmarek? He didn't have too many nice things to say about Day.
no, I didn't.
Oh, you guys didn't hear that?
No.
It was I couldn't see the clip, but if you
Breaking
look that up,
news.
if you look that up, you can see what he said something. He was upset because Arthur Smith came in and now they're going to use tight ends, and he was never utilized the way he thought he should have been.
I agree. Our tight ends, Max Clare and Kaczmarek, were both severely underutilized.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing I saw today. That Day said he said he was thinking about promoting from within, and he thinks Keenan Bailey's right there. And I was just like, in what realm? Like we the tight end, I get it. The tight ends were better last year than we've had in a while, but when you have Jeremiah Smith on this team, we're 13 personnel in the red zone is just it's insane. It's like the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life. You're mad that you're not getting utilized enough. You have Jeremiah Smith on your team, sir. He needs to be utilized way more than you.
Here's the other issue with that, Alex. Yes, the tight ends were better than they've been in the past, but it was Purdue's tight end. It was OU's tight end. It wasn't a tight end that Bailey developed from a freshman up. We saw the guy that we had the opportunity to do that with, and he didn't get any playing time and transferred out. Now, Bennett Christian's been here, and I'm looking forward to see what he does this year.
Yeah, I'm with you. But, being a tight end, and look, I wasn't a tight end, so I'm just assuming this, but it takes a special person because you're basically expected to be as good as a tackle and as good as a receiver. And you got to do both.
And you're not going to get the glory of either, by the way.
And you're not. But how many of us loved Cade Stover?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
But was he really? It was his personality, his intensity.
Oh,
the comments, man. The cows don't take a day off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was as Buckeye could be, man. I think he had a mentality about him. Now,
he had toughness.
Was he the greatest tight end we'd ever had at Ohio State? No. He was a freaking linebacker who they put in at tight end, okay? That's a pretty good athlete. Let's just be honest. That's a good athlete.
And he switched back and forth several times.
Well, I had to push back on Alex a little bit about you having Day on the team. Day is getting double teamed they have double coverage. They have the safety going over there. Well, how do you beat that? A tight end down the middle so they can't do that all the time. If you utilize your tight end more, it'll open up more things for Jeremiah Smith. So what I saw was what Kaczmarek said is I had a lot of potential that wasn't fully tapped. Coach Day runs a great program, but the tight end role was more about blocking than playmaking for us. So he would
have Jeremiah Smith on the team. That's exactly how it's supposed to be.
But
hold on. I'm going to push back on Will. Yeah, you're expected to block at Ohio State as a tight end.
Yeah,
that is your number one job.
And you knew that coming in. You can't say you didn't.
Yes,
he did.
You know what? Our wide receivers are expected to block. They did a shitty job of it.
Job
of it last week.
I think he's lost a little bit for the NFL too, because he's saying, "Hey, I have a lot more potential than what I showed on film."
Sure.
So I mean, he's helping himself out, but
yeah. And then when he goes,
and when not going to be a great.
And when he goes to Indy for NFL, whatever it's called, Combine, and then does his pro day. And they do all the measurables and everything, he's going to be lucky to be a 7th round draft pick. Sorry. It's reality.
I would almost be willing to bet that he got more receiving yards than a lot of tight ends at Ohio State have in the last 10 years outside of Jeff Hireman. It seemed like he got the ball a lot in our offense compared to tight ends we've had even in the Day era.
The kid that is with the Jets or was with the Jets.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Jeremy
Ruckert.
Well, that was 1 or 2 years of Day in the beginning, and he was
even when Jeremy Ruckert got here, do you guys remember what he was talking about? I have to learn how to be a better blocker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
What do you want, 1,000 yards as a tight end, sir?
Yeah, like you're not a tight end if you're a 1,000-yard receiver.
Yeah.
You're a receiver
Max Clare was at Purdue.
because he was a receiver.
Yeah.
He wasn't a tight end. It's a
Nick Vannett,
philosophy.
good, Sean. Yeah. Nick Vannett was
It's a
good.
philosophy. No, this is interesting how we started off on running backs with Bo Jackson and Isaiah West, and we ended up over on the tight ends.
I'm trying to look up his stats here. Oh, he had less yards than I thought. He only had 168 yards, 2 touchdowns, 15 receptions.
Yeah.
But like 2022, 2023, he was at Ohio, I think then, right? When did
Yeah.
he come to Ohio State?
He came to
Oh,
Ohio
he's been
State
here 2
24,
years.
the national title.
Okay.
The
Okay. So, I mean, those 2 years, he only had like 264 and then 243 yards. So, I mean, he had a very similar year to those this year with us. I mean, it's not like Ohio is using him any different.
Well, if you look at it, your great tight ends on the other teams that you can't stop because they're just great don't have great receivers too to go along with it. They are their greatest receiver at tight end, so it's hard to have a great receiver and a great tight end at the same time.
And there was also coaching failures, right? Because obviously when
Yes.
it comes to Julian only having a good rapport with Jeremiah and Carnell and missing guys like Brandon Ennis, the tight end over the middle against Miami type of deal that we saw a few times throughout the year. You know, those things needed to be coached up a lot better. That falls on Day. That falls on guys like, you know, the quarterback's coach and even Keenan Bailey, who, you know, Ryan Day glazes Keenan Bailey up a lot. I think he's expendable.
He was almost our offensive coordinator. So
If that would have happened, 5 losses easy next year. If that would have happened.
I think that Keenan Bailey is a good coach, not a great coach yet. I think he has a lot of potential. I think if you actually watch this guy coach, I think that he actually has a lot of potential. But he is not ready to be an OC. He is not ready to lead a team.
I don't know that that's fair to say, because how many good position coaches make crappy OCs, or good head coaches make crappy OCs or DCs? But how many good coordinators make crappy head coaches? Like, I don't know. We don't know if Keenan Bailey would be a good play caller or not, because he's never done it. But Bart made the point, and a lot of people agreed with him. I think it was a little over a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. Ohio State's not the place where you cut your teeth as a play caller,
Agreed.
unless your name's Ryan Day.
It's also not supposed to be where
Yeah.
you cut your teeth as a head coach.
Unless your name's
And-
Ryan Day.
Yeah, unless your name's
Or-
Ryan Day.
or Luke Fickle.
Yeah, or Luke Fickle.
What? No, don't get me going down that road, because what
Luke
they did
was
to
thrown
Fick
into that
was
position,
wrong.
man.
What they
it
did
was
to
rough.
Fickle was wrong.
Well, and he also, before that year started, lost his starting quarterback, a starting wide receiver, a starting
Yeah.
running back. He lost it all. And while that team was this close to having like a 11 win season, really, I mean, 6 of those 7 losses, I believe, were 1-score games, and one of them was a blown 4-touchdown lead in Nebraska.
Sean, actually, this is a true statement. Keenan Bailey did get in
Yeah.
a fight in the weight room one time.
How stupid do you have to be to fight a strength coach? Come on. Unless you know karate or something like that.
Hey,
Don't
or
I'll bet it wasn't
Hey.
Schleggs.
hey, maybe Ryan Day went in his office and said, Keenan, you're gonna have to show me that you've got more toughness than what you're showing me right now. Dang it, coach! All right, I'm gonna pick on the biggest, baddest guy I can find. Get the tar beat out of him. Am I tough now, coach?
Well, from what I hear, Keenan's a player's coach too. And
He
is.
and sometimes players' coaches do not do well because they don't hold them accountable because the players like them so much. It's the coaches that coached me in the past that coached me so hard. I hated them when they were there, but I appreciate them so much when I left.
Oh, TG's bringing up another sore subject for me. How in the world you have a
Lachey.
former
You can never have that.
All-American offensive lineman who does your color commentary, who has a son who's tailor-made to be a Buckeye, and you went to Cincinnati and got the white afro and Royer instead. And he goes off to Iowa and then becomes an NFL caliber tight end. That's the one thing about Ryan Day's decision. I was like, what are you doing?
That's something that bothered me about Urban too. It's like, there's a lot of these former Buckeyes kids that didn't get offers, like Winfield's kid. He didn't get it off. And I'm just like, even if he's not Ohio State caliber, you give him an offer and give him a chance to come here.
The kid did okay, Alex.
Yeah, maybe you could get him to come to Ohio State and make him into another legendary Buckeye. It's their birthright to come here and be at Ohio State. Like,
we gave one to Will Smith Jr.
Yeah, Lorenzo Styles. I literally, when I was at a practice last year, and I got to talk to Sonny and Lorenzo's mom. And I told her, I was like, I'm thankful that Lorenzo transferred here because it's his birthright to be here. Like, your dad got to play here. You should get to play here too. And if you're not good enough, fine. But at least you got to wear the scarlet and gray like your pops did. And
Orlando Pace's boy was a walk-on running back.
Yep.
Yeah, he played.
Jeff Logan's kid should have been able to come here.
Well, and let's not. If I have a kid who's a great tight end, I'm not coming to Ohio State. If you want to make it to the next level, I'm not coming to Ohio State. I'm going to Iowa. I am going to where they're going to feature me,
which is true.
Or even up north.
Yes, that's where they're going to feature you. But to say that, hey, you should come here. A lot of these kids don't want to fall. They want to make their own path. They don't want to do what their dad does. And us to say, hey, you have to come here because no. These kids want to do their own thing sometimes and burn their own path. And I think they should offer up.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying that they have to come here, but they should be offered.
You
should be offered as a legacy.
Yes.
But we don't know the conversations. Like, they could say, hey, we like Ohio State, but we're not coming here no matter what. Why, maybe just a thing like, we'll offer you, but, you're not coming here maybe thing. But we don't know this conversation didn't happen. I'm sure that they're not stupid and say, hey, we're not going to offer you. You're a legend here, but we just don't know.
Yeah. Winfield's kid somehow wasn't offered, and I was blown away.
Lachey, was he?
No. Oh yeah, that's who I was talking about. Lachey. I thought Jeff Logan for some reason. Lachey's kid I don't think was offered either, and it's like, really, just give him the offer.
Yeah. Bailey came from Notre Dame. He was a grad assistant at Notre Dame. He's been his only job outside of where he was a GA at Notre Dame has been at Ohio State. So. He is he's an Ohio State guy. All right. This episode is brought to you by A Place at Home Senior Care. If you have a loved one recovering from a recent hospitalization, stroke, or fall, maybe they're living with dementia and needing support at home, A Place at Home Dublin provides home care supportive services like bathing, dressing, mobility assistance, and medication reminders, all in the comfort home. Learn more at aplaceathome.com/Dublin. Again, that's aplaceathome.com/Dublin, or call 740-472-8181. All right.
Hey, Eric, could you give me that information? Because I'm getting closer to A Place at Home here. Every goes by, I'm getting closer to that dementia and that place at home. So
True story. When my wife had a heart attack, it did cross my mind if I all of a sudden was in a place where I'm like, I'm going to need some help. Thank goodness we have A Place at Home sponsoring our show right now. I know who to call now. So A Place at Home, big sponsors of this program. We appreciate their support here at the OHIO podcast. Okay, last topic for the evening. I've got a audio clip I'm going to play for you.
Please tell me it's Feinbaum.
It is not.
Because he's been in major meltdown mode.
I love it.
Oh, yes, he has. Chris, before I play the audio clip, explain to everybody what you mean by Feinbaum melting down.
Well, it started out with, what was it, last year when he started with if the SEC does not win the national title this season, that was after Ohio State won, this coming season, then I am leaving the country. And then it went on to a lot of whining, a lot of crying, and then it got to, most recently, it was like, I don't know if you heard his meltdown about, we have to admit that the Big Ten's the better conference. Kind of conceding, kind of hanging his head down, just talking, whining about it, crying about it a little bit. And then, of course, he goes on to blame NIL. He was looking for every excuse for why the SEC just can't compete now. And this latest one, he has basically said it's time to admit that Alabama is not great anymore and that DeBoer is just not the guy. So, yeah. And if you listen to SEC podcasts, it's a lot of the same almost everywhere you listen. They're looking for the excuses. They want to know why the Big Ten is all of a sudden the best conference in football.
Some guys are still holding on, like Booger McFarland. He says, the
he's
SEC
an
is
idiot.
still the best conference.
It's going to be very interesting to look at the draft numbers this year.
Yeah.
That'll be the telltale. One of the biggest telltales.
I feel like last year did the Big Ten outperform the SEC in the first round?
Maybe.
I just gotta get those numbers for
I
you.
know the total number was close. It was 79-71.
And
we
the
were right
SEC
there.
still had more.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like the Big Ten might have won the first round last year.
I think we get them this year.
Well, and let's just be honest, though. First rounder doesn't mean they're great players.
Sure.
If you can look at, how many times have we won Rookie of the Year in the NFL?
Yeah.
That's the telltale sign how great of a player you are if you get accolades in the NFL because you're playing against the best of the best.
Well, yes
the
and no.
SEC had
Also,
15, Eric, and the Big Ten had 11.
okay, so they still won. All right. It'd be very interesting what happens here. Okay, here is an audio clip I'm going to play for you guys from a former Georgia great who happened to also play for my Cincinnati Bengals for like a season or two before he got hurt and was at ESPN before they let him go. Stupid move by ESPN. I think David Pollack is fantastic.
He is. He's great.
I want you to listen to him and hear the frustration and listen to how this audio clip ends. It is so telling.
This has to be a line. And here's the thing. So be it. If you don't want to make this a line in NCAA, so be it. That's fine. But you just screwed college football. You absolutely screwed college football because you gave every single person the right now to do this exact same thing. I can go to any school at any time and purge from your roster. You signed them, who cares? How is that healthy for any part of our game? It's atrocious for any part of our game. It's a black eye. If the NCAA doesn't do something with this, I quit with the NCAA. Go away. Walk away. We should do it anyways. The Big Ten and SEC should find a way to do it. But, football needs to go away from it because it's just a bunch of bull crap. You cannot let people be enrolled at a school, taking classes, creating creating my goals for the season. Bro.
Ugh. Okay. Now, I understand he's talking about the Ole Miss Clemson scenario here. I stumbled on a rabbit hole Friday that I did a video on in the college channel on Saturday. The CSC, which is the new NCAA infractions arm for the clearinghouse, okay, the NIL clearinghouse, has opened an investigation on LSU. It is not their football program. However, we all know that there's been massive tampering from Lane Kiffin. I present in the video that Lane Kiffin is more than likely cheating and that the NCAA opening this investigation might reveal a whole lot more than what the LSU fans are expecting. And you should go read the comments from the LSU fans to me. Complete denial of everything. And then it dawns on me.
We've heard that before.
Yep. A lot of denial from a certain fan base.
Yeah. It dawns on me that this is some serious coping happening in the South right now. Serious coping. They are not used to not winning. And we all know the reasons why, okay? NIL has forced the bagman above the table, right? And now you
everybody
can
do
pay.
it.
Now everybody can do it legally, supposedly. The frustration coming from people who are SEC supporters is just absolutely hilarious to me. Now, I like David Pollock, and I think David has a lot of really good points he's making about the ignorance of the NCAA choosing to ignore obvious tampering. Urban Meyer had a video recently as well on his podcast where he said there was 90 some instances of tampering, and that number's probably going to be 400 something. And then he actually does a slam on Michigan. I'm going to make a video about that tomorrow, which I love. But the point is this that I want to get to. Feinbaum made a very interesting comment the week after the national championship when he said, we don't have the kind of money in the South to compete with the North. I don't think that feels to me very excuse making.
Go ahead, Alex.
It's true to a point. It's true to a point. I mean, you got schools like us, Indiana, Team Up North, who have like alumni who are millionaire billionaires. You know, where do you get that at Alabama?
LSU's got more billionaires than Ohio State. We looked it up.
Georgia
Really?
has Coca-Cola in their backyard.
Yeah.
They've
Arkansas?
Yeah.
Walmart. Sam Walton.
Sam Walton.
I knew that one. But the thing is, you know, and I guess LSU and Georgia shouldn't have a problem with this given their product. Well, LSU not so much recently, but they've won a good amount of natties since 2000. But a place like Arkansas, it's like, well, if you're one of these millionaire billionaires, the product hasn't been that great. Do you really want to put your money into something that's not great, hoping it'll be great? Especially if like the coaching staff and stuff isn't up to snuff, you know? Whereas up here, Indiana, they made a hire, did pretty good. And Mark Cuban goes, you know, he sprinkled a little bit that first year of Cignetti, and then he saw the return on investment, and he was like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
And now they're going to be great for as long as Cignetti's there, pretty much.
Do you feel, Alex, maybe the fact that they're saying these things is them trying to excuse away the fact that Indiana actually won the national championship and blew the freaking doors off Alabama, like their Prince Darling for so long?
It's all coping. It truly is. And the fact is, remember pre-2006 when there was parity in college football? Well, a lot of people don't know is that the former SEC commissioner, Mike Slive, became a coordinator for the BCS in 2006, which just so happened to be the start of the SEC streak in those BCS title games. And a lot of people go, well, the BCS was all computers. Well, only a third of the formula was computers, and it was an average of 6 human polls. The SEC got in and started those inner workings of things going in their favor while they were paying players in secret big money. And that's how they started getting all these guys coming into their schools. And that's how the conference started dominating. And they're mad now that everybody can do that out in the open and it's cool. And now they're starting not to look as dominant against teams like Ohio State, where they would be able to blow them out back in 06, 07, but can't now. Well, except for, you know, the Alabama game. But that, you know, that's a totally different reason why we got blown out that game. But more often than not, the SEC is losing to the northern schools now, specifically the Big Ten. And these fans, they're trying to cling on to the old times. They want things to be illegal again so they can do it in secret, sweep it under the rug, not get in trouble because the NCAA is not going to come after them. And the NCAA just continues to ignore these things. And so, I mean, but this time, other teams can pay for players in the open, so they can just ignore it and everybody be fine. But the SEC is not going to be fine because they can't be the only ones that do it anymore. So it's just it's funny to watch. It's funny to watch.
Yeah, and you know, I can remember Nick Saban on ESPN, and his first shot was, when they talked about Ryan Day and the amount of money they spent, and his first thing goes, well, you have to buy the right players. That was well, guess what? The Big Ten is buying the right players. The Big Ten isn't just about buying the players, though, contrary to popular belief. You've got guys who are developing players at a very high level. And the SEC fans are still, grabbing onto this. Well, we're deeper. I made a very good point about this early on. And I don't remember whether it was on one of my What Makes Me Wild segments or not. I believe it may have been the one where I was discussing the disrespect to the Big Ten. And they talk about how deep their conference is now. It's not just top heavy, where the Big Ten is top heavy. Guess what? I said it like this before. It's not that the mid and lower level SEC teams came up. It's that the upper level teams fell back to the pack. This isn't about the SEC getting better. This is about their top tier teams, now that they can't be the only ones paying players, stockpiling all the best talent. That talent is now distributed around the country. The Big Ten is getting their share. And now guess what we're finding out? The coaches in the Big Ten are just better.
They're better.
They are better. The players in the Big Ten right now, a lot of them are just better.
Mm-hmm. And what's funny, Chris, is the SEC all of a sudden is hanging their hat on Lane Kiffin.
Yes.
Remember
a guy who didn't even stick around to see if he could win a natty.
Mm-hmm.
True.
What an idiot!
Remember when Urban came in to Ohio State and he was talking about how behind the Big Ten was and how everybody needed to elevate? They've elevated.
It happened.
It happened.
Yeah. That last television deal that the Big Ten signed and then getting the 4 West Coast teams to join the conference has elevated this conference. And I know it's a self-fulfilling prophecy that the SEC makes, and Bart, I'm coming to you next.
Yeah.
Where they say the SEC, it just means more until bowl season because we don't really care because we didn't make the CFP. And so but all of a sudden, if they win those bowl games, of course we won those bowl games. We're better than you guys. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy cycle that they have.
We call that the Notre Dame philosophy. It doesn't matter because we didn't make the CFP.
So you look at that. You look at the postseason record for the SEC. It was awful. It was the worst out of the Power Fours. It was by far the worst. And so I'm sorry. I actually think you're right, Chris. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm saying this. I think you're right, Chris. I think the top is dropped down. I think you're absolutely right, Bart.
Well, first of all, the biggest point we have here is, when has Chris been wrong?
Exactly. Thank you, Bart. This is why I appreciate you, Bart.
Yeah, you say, I can't believe I'm saying right. He's never been wrong, so I don't understand your problem, Eric. But okay. But I do agree. I do agree with Chris about that. But let's not. We couldn't do it back, and they did. It's not like we couldn't do it. We didn't want to do it because the hammer had come down on us. If we did.
Exactly.
And let's not forget that the scholarships that they manipulated back in the day too. How many scholarships they could get, and then if they gave scholarships and then took them away or kicked players off the team.
Gray shirted 21 gray shirts on Alabama one year.
Yeah. So it was like, how? We can't do. Why aren't we allowed to do that?
They're going to skirt the rules no matter what. And it's just coming to the point. But there was a comment about, Coca-Cola or whatever putting on our jerseys. I think we hugely benefit from that because we're a high state. If you have a brand out there and want to sell product, there's no other better school.
We already fixed this. Netflix, it's Netflix, baby. Netflix and Anheuser-Busch, Netflix and chill. Wasn't that what you said?
That's what I said. Netflix and chill.
No, you put Netflix on our jersey and we give them an exclusive game or two every single year instead of stupid Peacock.
Yeah.
Ohio State's racking in millions, baby, for that. Absolutely.
And then somebody else. Go ahead, Chris.
And look for that to happen, Eric. Look for Netflix to try to get in on the college football game and try to get in to these media deals the next round.
Well,
Yeah,
I
they
wouldn't
will.
wait for them to try to get in. If
I would
I'm
go
Ross
to 'em.
Bjork, I'm going to them.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm doing. I'm being proactive in this. And I'm putting my university and my team in the best possible position to make as much money as I possibly
Yes.
can so that we can use it in NIL to bring in the best possible players we absolutely can. It's the game. Don't hate the player, hate the game, folks.
Yeah, it's funny where David Pollack wants rules now. We've won the last 3 national champ. Now he wants rules. He didn't say anything when they were doing that back in the day. And the other thing is that when you said about the tampering, why does it take a lawsuit for Duke against Miami when there's clear tampering? Why can't that just be evidence of tampering that the NCAA comes down and says, this is what we have to do? Why does it take a lawsuit? They are clearly doing it until that happens. But it's just funny now the SEC wants rules and they don't even abide by them by now. So we'll just wait until a Big Ten team wins again this year. And if Ohio State doesn't, I'm going to still say it's a successful season. And we don't have to beat Michigan because that doesn't mean anything anymore. I just won a national
That I
championship.
agree with.
Stop it.
I had to get
We will not speak
both there,
this
Eric.
blasphemy. We will not speak this blasphemy. This is my natty trophy this year. This is my natty trophy.
We don't have to beat them. We'll just win a national championship.
That's on the cover of our magazine, by the way.
and that is a natty trophy in itself on the magazine cover. Now, to defend Pollock a little bit though, he is right though. I mean, that what he doesn't point out is the SEC has been tampering with other people's players for at least 20 years.
Yeah, why has he said that before?
Probably closer to 30.
Why has he said that
but
before though? He didn't complain before when they were doing it, but now
he was on ESPN where he has to be a good little SEC boy, and
exactly,
that's why he ended up getting fired, because he stopped being a little SEC boy and promoting the ESPN cash cow and started being realistic.
I would love for him to be on Fox. I think he's the one they should have brought on instead of the Dave Portnoy.
I'd love to have him be on the Ohio podcast too. What about bringing him here?
I'll reach out to him, but I mean, never know. It doesn't hurt to ask, right?
But you think the SEC meltdown is bad now? They play 9 conference games this coming season, when a lot more of those SEC teams don't make bowl games because they have an extra loss that they didn't have before.
But remember, Alex, they don't care about those bowl games unless it's the CFP.
Very true.
Is it Georgia in the near future has a home and home coming up with Ohio State and
unless
Notre
they
Dame.
cancel it.
Unless they cancel it.
Exactly, which they're going to do. Notre Dame's going to cancel it for them, so that one's out of the way. Because Notre Dame will never play a team with a winning record again, because all they got to do is be ranked in the top 12, and they're going to get in because the CFP's full of morons. Marcus Freeby's got his way.
Our favorite guy, Austin Ward, brought up the fact that those games probably aren't going to happen.
Yep. Yeah, he's right. Because
I just don't want to be the one to cancel them. Let them do it, because if we cancel it, we're soft.
Yes,
and
we're gonna. This was gonna be a topic tomorrow, Alex. So get yourself ready for that tomorrow.
You said, Eric, don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah.
Well, they're hating the game, and they created the game. You want to know why we're at this point? It is because of the SEC. It's because of their illegal recruiting, and they're paying players that we are in the position that we are in right now. Don't blame Ed O'Bannon and the players that sued in the NIL deal. That is all a direct impact from the SEC's illegal recruiting that trickled down through the NCAA 30 years ago.
I think Buck Vader, if you guys look at his comment, I think he is completely on point. The Big Ten went national, the SEC stayed local. That's the difference. And I think that's how many great Ohio players year in and year out go to an SEC team. Very few. I think we keep them here, and we go out and get a lot of players.
Or they go to Oregon.
Yeah, with a Buckeye tat on their arm of the ring.
And how many players do we get from Florida, Georgia? We get a lot of good players from other places. So I completely agree with Vader. I think we went national, and they still think they can go local.
We took
Well,
the
there's just more
WWE
talent in the
approach.
South, though.
Yeah.
When you look at especially the specialized positions, right? Your wide receiver, your corners, your running backs, your linebackers, quarterbacks. Although Southern California seems to be the hotbed for quarterback play.
Eric, don't
those
you think
are
a lot
all
of that
more.
came from? Don't you think a lot of that came from the fact that they'd been doing the 7-on-7 and the all-year
Yes,
football year round?
I was getting to that. Yeah, they're able to play 7-on-7, which can be a multiple games a weekend type deal for them, and they've got the weather to do it. Like they're playing 7-on-7, and Ohio's just going to dip their toe into it finally this spring, and it's still going to be. You're going to have to find facilities to probably play it in because it's still pretty cold here in Ohio in the spring. I mean, I played baseball.
Playing it. Yeah. Listen, there was nothing that I wanted to avoid more when it came to Ohio State recruits. When I heard a kid say, "Well, I don't really like playing in the cold." I'm like, go somewhere else. I don't want Ohio State even looking at a kid like that.
Well, Urban Meyer he squashed that when he said, "Well, then don't go play in the NFL."
Yeah, exactly. Yes. That's what I was going to say, because guess what? You're not going to get to tell your coach in the NFL, "Hey, I know we're going to Lambeau this week in Green Bay. I think I'll stay back. I don't like the cold that much."
Well, it's funny. Cleveland's building a dome though. So
could you imagine Trey walking up to Vrabel last week and saying, "Sorry, coach, it's too cold for me today."
By the way, I'm glad you brought that up. Vrabel, look, is it just something that automatically, if you coach for New England, you have to look like your face is freezing off when you coach? Because you remember how
it was cold. It was cold out there.
Do you remember how Bill Belichick's face? It looks like it was always like pink and like around his nose and his ears, and then Vrabel. I'm watching Vrabel in Denver, and he's turning into Bill Belichick, like right before our eyes. Like, what is happening here?
I think, Eric, I think Lisa made a great point earlier when she says that they're going to cancel the Georgia-Alabama game because it might be too tough. So they're going to start canceling SEC games with each other if they play a really tough opponent. So
I'm so torn on those. Like, I want to see those games, but it would be beneficial for us to not have them on the schedule. I just don't want to be the one to cancel it.
No, I think she's saying, "Hey, let's cancel the Indiana game next year because they're going to be really good, or cancel the Oregon game because they're in the Big Ten. We have to play them."
I think it's time to take it away from the schools and put it in a central scheduling office.
Well, I mean, if we're going to go down that route, let's expand the conferences to 20. You play 10 conference games. Because you're going to have 9 in your division.
Yep.
You play 9 division games. You play 1 outside and the other. Basically, we bring the Pac-12 over, and you got the West and the East again, right? I mean, we might as well go down that route again, and then you play 2 cupcakes.
How about you do it like the NFL? You play your own schedule, and then you play another conference. But if you're a bottom feeder for the year before, you play the bottom feeder of that other conference, and then you change conferences every year. And
that conference is just going to be a division within the Big Ten. It's not going to be another conference.
Well, you play so many Big Ten teams, and then you play some outside teams. But I mean, you play the same. So
there's 18. Are we at 18?
We're
is that
18
what we're
right
18? We're 18 Big Ten teams. The basketball team. It's the craziest thing to me. Like, okay, you're not going to play. If you played every Big Ten team, you'd have a 17-game schedule. You can't do that, right? Like, so we've gotten to the point where, at this point, you don't even need to play anybody else. You're all inside your conference. Play 10 of them. And you get to play one MAC school from Ohio that you get to share your wealth with, and one other G6 school as a cupcake warm up for the 10-game schedule you really got. And quit worrying about playing Texas and Bama and when Notre Dame cries because they can't get to play anybody in the SEC, in the Big 10 or in the Big 12 because the ACC is going to be disbanded. Tough luck. Join a conference, boys and girls.
They're not going to anyhow because they're crybabies and they don't want to play a team that plays in a real conference.
Well, when they don't no longer have the sweetheart deal you're talking about, we're in the top 12 and they automatically get in, then they're going to join a conference, Chris. You got to force the hand.
I'm gonna
the easy way to do that is the SEC and the Big Ten just say, you know what, screw you, Notre Dame. At CFP, if you're going to have this arrangement, we're going to break off and do our own thing.
I'm gonna defend Notre Dame a little bit per usual.
Okay, he's gonna have a heart attack.
Obviously,
Everybody pray for Chris.
It's hindsight here after what we saw. But Alabama had zero business being in that playoff. Miami should have been the 9 seed. Notre Dame should have been the 10 seed. And it should just be common sense that if Notre Dame, has a good season like they did last year, they shouldn't need a clause for it. They should have just been in the top 12 to begin with.
But why? Who did they beat to get there? Who did they beat to get there, though, Alex? Because Alabama had 3 losses, but yes, they had some quality wins. Notre Dame's best win was what? Syracuse?
Chris,
Syracuse is their best win?
Chris, Alabama had quality wins based on what? The overranking of bad SEC teams?
Agreed. You're not wrong.
So did they really have more quality wins?
But the fact is, any one of those bad overranked SEC teams would have kicked the crap out of Syracuse, who was Notre Dame's toughest opponent.
I mean, great hypothetical win there, Chris. I just saw the results on the field, and Notre Dame was clearly, eye test wise and beyond, a better team than Alabama.
Really? Who did they beat to show that?
They were one of the best 5 teams in the country, I'd argue.
And I would argue you're an idiot for thinking so.
Everybody would agree with me. Everybody agrees.
Well, then they're idiots too.
No, Nick Saban's an idiot?
Absolutely. If he thinks Notre Dame's one of the best 5 teams in the country, he's an absolute friggin' moron.
And honestly, I'll even put it a step further. The way we played against Miami, Notre Dame would have beat us at that 10 spot.
You know what? There was 2 teams that beat Ohio State.
Yep.
That was Miami and Indiana, the 2 teams that played for the national championship. By the way, how'd Notre Dame do against Miami? Ohio State actually fared better.
Barely lost. And you want to know why they barely lost? Because it was the first game of the year. If that game was played in week 3,
you either be ready to play or you get the hell out.
Hey, listen, we had to like baby step Julian Sain against Texas. If they had done the same thing for CJ Carr, they probably win that game. But they went.
That just shows how stupid Marcus Freeby really is.
He's a newer coach.
He's an idiot.
He's going to win a national championship for Notre Dame.
He's an ass. He deserves nothing.
And it might be this coming season.
He's not winning anything. Notre Dame is not going to win anything as long as Marcus Freeby is in.
I think we need to make a gentleman's bet, Chris.
Well, there's not a gentleman on this panel.
Whoa! Why would you say that about Bert? Oh my gosh!
Here's my gentleman right here, Chris. Right there.
I'll think of some terms that I'll think of something, but I think we should make a gentleman's bet that Marcus Freeman, if he wins a national championship for Notre Dame, you have to do something that I come up with, and if he doesn't, I have to do something you come up with.
So you're taking Marcus Freeman. I get the field
for this coming season. Or are we talking about
no, this season, this coming season?
Okay. I think Notre Dame has a great shot to win a national title, even without
Jim. I think Notre Dame has a great shot to lose at BYU. I think Notre Dame has a great shot.
No way.
No.
They might lose a game, but they could win an Natty.
Eric, I think it's more important these days to beat Michigan than it is to win a national championship.
Given that schedule, shut up, Corey. Given that schedule, if they don't beat BYU and Miami, I think is the other one on their schedule. Is that right?
Yes, at home. They got Miami at home.
If they do not have those 2 wins, they should not be ranked in the top 15 at the end of the year. I don't care what they do against the rest of the sucky teams on their schedule.
It all depends.
Great job, Don. Don says, let's do it. Let's name who do you think will be a national champion next year?
Do we have to exclude Ohio State?
I think
we all think they're
Ohio State.
We're not winning it.
Yeah, I'll present it. If Ohio State doesn't win the national championship this year, who will it be, Alex?
based on the very little knowledge we have of all these teams right now, we haven't seen spring ball and stuff yet. I do think Notre Dame has a great shot to win a national championship next year. I think they're the next team in line from the North to win it. Everybody wants to point to Oregon. I think Dante Moore is overrated as hell. I think he stinks. I think Dan Lanning will find a way to get blown out by somebody, probably Notre Dame, maybe, in a college football playoff next year. I would put my money on them.
Oregon is a sexy pick. That's one everybody loves. I'm with with Alex on this one. I don't think it's Oregon. I also don't think it's a team from the North. Nor do I think it's a team from the SEC.
You going out west?
Nope.
Miami?
No shot.
No.
They don't even make the playoffs next year.
Woo.
Book it. Book it.
After they destroy Notre Dame,
Book it.
they are in.
They will find a way, because I guarantee they won't even play for the ACC title next year.
I think Notre Dame.
That doesn't matter. We've seen that.
I think
Sorry.
Notre Dame's going to look a lot different next year because they don't have Jeremiah Love. I think he masked a lot of problems and he was an elite running back. Without that running game, you're going to focus on a pass game. I don't think they're going to be that great. I agree with Alex that Dante Moore is terrible. My pick, if it's not Ohio State, why do you have to not pick against Indiana? If that quarterback comes out, Indiana can repeat.
Boy, if they repeat, boy, that's bad for Ryan.
Let me tell you, Cignetti might be a hell of a coach, but he is one hell of a game manager, player manager.
That's bad for Ryan Day if they repeat. God, I can't even imagine that.
Rutgers is going to come out of nowhere, be the next Indiana, and win it also.
Funny.
If that were to happen,
I would love that for Schiano. Honestly.
If that were to happen, we are officially no longer really here. This is a simulation. This is we are a part of some.
We are living in college football 26, a video game.
Yes, God is playing PlayStation right now, and we're the fans in the stands going,
Eric, what if I told you 4 years ago, that Indiana was going to win the national championship?
I would say we might be in a simulation.
Yeah, exactly.
I would have called the nearest psych ward and said, "Hey, we got somebody that needs to be admitted."
Maybe we are in a simulation.
All right, so we got Notre Dame, Miami. You said, Bart, you said Indiana.
What say you?
I'm really thinking I want to go off the rails with this one. Because I think
Texas Tech,
LSU.
I'm thinking. Well, the two fan bases that I love to interact with have been Ole Miss fans because I've been on their bandwagon with pooping on Lane Kiffin, and they're like inviting me to come to their games and hang out and tailgate down there. Like they're like, we'll pay for you to come, man. Like those fans are freaking awesome.
And are we forgetting about Texas too? I mean, that's a big one.
Yeah, Texas is a good one too, but I don't have the faith in Manning.
Yeah.
Give me Texas Tech as off like
I like
kind of out of
actually.
nowhere. They spend a ton of NIL. I don't have a faith in that quarterback they got from Cincinnati though.
They spent a ton last year, and they were exposed to the TFP.
They did get exposed to the CFP.
He's a better quarterback than what they had this previous year.
You think so?
Yeah.
Do yourself a favor. Go look at the football facility at Texas Tech.
It's better than a lot of NFL teams.
Oh, it's Jerry Jones money. I get it, but it is gorgeous. They have some of the best facilities I've ever seen in my life.
Tech?
Yeah, he's a graduate of Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones went to Arkansas.
No, he didn't. He went to Texas Tech, didn't he?
He went to Arkansas. He was on their national championship team.
Let's make a gentleman's bet.
Jimmy Johnson.
Hold on. Let me see.
I can also say this though, Bart.
Who am I confused with then? Because he did go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no clue. But yeah, Jerry Jones was on the Arkansas national championship team.
You're correct. You're correct. Who is funding Texas Tech? Who am I thinking?
Somebody.
A lot of oil.
Yeah. There is one guy in particular. He's been on like interviews and TV stuff.
But wait a second. What's the name of the stadium there?
But even still, like Texas Tech is paying a softball pitcher like over $1 million.
Yeah, it's Jerry Jones AT&T Stadium. at Texas Tech.
Why is he funding them then?
Oh, it's not. It's Clifford B. and Audrey Jones Stadium. All this time, I thought it was Jerry Jones.
Who are those two?
I don't know, but they got
Oil
some
tycoon.
They got all the
money.
people.
Oil
They're
tycoon.
money. Yeah.
All right, let's find out. Who is Clifford?
He's got to be the CEO of some oil
It's
thing.
first thing comes up is Big
He's-
Red Dog.
He's a fry cook at McDonald's. So
Who is Clifford and Audrey Jones?
Texas. I mean, as long as it's not the SEC, I think we could all agree.
No,
I just
I'd
want
rather
to see them
SEC
keep
than Notre
losing.
Dame.
No.
I would have to. I would rather see Notre Dame than SEC. I
Yeah.
want them to go down so bad.
I know
every year.
I know Notre Dame fans.
Clifford
yeah.
was the president at Texas Tech. So, and they donated $100,000, which is at the time, which is equivalent to 1.4 million. So
Hey,
today,
okay.
so that apparently back then they donated their life savings.
So he
apparently.
just was a employee there for a long time.
Yeah.
So they named the stadium after. He doesn't.
Yeah,
he's not
president.
really
He was a
somebody.
president of the college.
He just-
All right,
it's
so
not-
who is funding
Well, according to Sean, it's
Texas
a former Texas Tech offensive
Tech
lineman. Is
football?
one of their big.
Well, they
benefactors.
can't. Come on.
All right, here we go. Texas Tech football is heavily funded by major donors and oil billionaire Cody Campbell,
That's the guy I was thinking
who
of.
leads the financial efforts and chairs the school's board of regents, helping build one of the nation's most expensive rosters. The program relies on massive contributions, including a $25 million payroll for 2025, with key support from Matador Club, NIL Collective, and donors like Dusty Womble. Cody Campbell and Dusty Womble. There you go.
Yeah, that's the guy I was thinking of. Yeah, they got unlimited money, really.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they want. They can do whatever they want, and I they could end up dominating that conference for the foreseeable future.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine if this happened?
That would be something.
Dylan Kuhn would be like, you know what?
I would be happy for. Dylan.
I would be so happy for Dylan. He's been so miserable as a Purdue football fan for so long. Speaking of Dylan, he's going to be with us next Sunday night for the Super Bowl. There will not be a Sunday night show here on YouTube. We're going to be over on Patreon watching the Super Bowl. And
Why?
we will be releasing to the public the very first ever OHIO podcast Super Bowl commercial. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I have secured a spot in the Super Bowl for our commercials. Oh, yeah, we're going big time. Watch out, Doritos. Move over, Pepsi. The
Are we-
OHIO podcast is
Are
taking
we the
over.
four? Are we the four Clydesdales coming? Rocking down?
Well, just wait, Bart, till you hear what Sean and I have been negotiating. It's going to be fantastic. We will be back tomorrow night right here at 8 o'clock Eastern on the OHIO podcast for another discussion roundtable, followed by the super secret show over on Patreon. That's right. Monday through Thursday, we go for 1 hour here on YouTube. Then we jump over on Patreon. If you're not a member of Patreon, you really need to become a member because that's where things get crazy. You get a voice. Plus, it's where we drop the best stuff, man. The rumors and the news we get from our insiders. Make sure you guys check out the Spectrum and the Illuminati podcast. The links are below in the description. Go give them some love, Mika and TG, as they build their channels as well. We'll be back tomorrow night, everybody. Till then, be kind to one another. I owe someone's OH in Carmen, Ohio, with all your heart. You all know what to do. OH!
Oh wait.
Oh,
Go Bucks! And go Krogering.
Scum still
and
sucks.
freebie still sucks.